Today's speech is about Rumi's concept of intellect. In the previous conversation, we had two parts of body. One, the physical body, and second, the spiritual body. So is the intellect. So we have two kinds of intellect, one that belongs to this body and one that belongs to the other body. Rumi, in his discourses, says that everyone who possesses a partial intellect is in need of learning, and the universal intellect is the source of what they are seeking. The prophets and the saints have united the partial intellect and universal intellect, so the two have become one. They can do it, not I or a simple man. Okay. So the partial intellect is like a tool for the universal intellect, and we learn and find our purpose from those things, from that. Okay. These intellectual sciences are a game and a waste of life. Don't misunderstand, please. Compared to the spiritual experiences of the dervishes. As I said many times before, Rumi was a big scholar, a big professor, like me teaching this and that, but all of a sudden he met with Shams Tabrizi. And when he met with Shams Tabrizi, his whole life changed. He became a dervish type of person by earning or getting the universal intellect. So when he had the universal intellect, everything in the world changed for him. He discovered strange things that he puts in his Mathnawi throughout. His teachings changed. He didn't follow word by word what God says and that. He always tried to see behind the curtain. That's the important thing. And therefore Rumi, in his Diwan, says, Katraye danish ke bakhshidi zapish, muttasal gardan ba daryahay khish. A drop of knowledge that you have given me from your ocean, please put it back in your ocean so that I become ocean. Otherwise, I won't be able to follow you, understand you. And then he continues to pray to God. Qatrai ilmast andar jaun man, varihanesh az hawa, zakhaw ke tan. There is only a drop of knowledge within me. From my show and clay of body, keep it free. Because if I follow the show and the worldly things, I'm lost in it, then I lose your ocean. I cannot get to your ocean of wisdom. That's what he's trying to say. And he continues. Then he prays again and says to God, Ey Khudaya, jan ra tu binaman an maqam ke dar vei bi harf mi ruyat kalam. Oh my God, lead my soul to such a state where speeches may rise without letters and debate. No words, nothing to be said, but you say everything like Shams. He looked at Rumi and he passed all the words to him without speaking. This is there in the book. You can find it. The concept of God is beyond dimensions. Zero bala pishu pas wasfe tanast, bi jihat anzat jane rushanast. Below, above, behind, front, these are all physical attributes. But the spiritual essence is bright, without dimensions. Really, I can bring one example. When the sun rises, many dimensions change. Think about it a little bit. Open your eyes with the pure spiritual king's light, which is God's light, so that you may not see things with narrower sight. If you have narrow sight, you are still in the individual or partial wisdom or partial intellect. But when you pass the partial intellect, you go to the universal intellect. All sciences, when they go deeper and deeper, they go to the universal wisdom and find God. That's Rumi discovered 800 years, 8 centuries before. So he's saying that. Ey ki andar chashme-i shurest jat, jaat yani your place. Tu che dani shatto jehun o farat. You who have born in briny water or be brought up in briny water pool, how will you understand the sweet water, the tasty water of river Shat, Jehun, I mean Tigris or Euphrates? Euphrates water is sweet, while the dirty water, if you are living in that, if a frog goes to the ocean, he will be disturbed because he was born in mud. So the individual wisdom is like living in the mud. You have to come out of it and taste the sweet water. کرم کے اندر چوب زاید سست حال کہ بداند چوب را وقت نحال. The worm that is born lazily in a piece of wood, how shall it know that wood was once a fresh shoot, fresh twig? He will not know anything, only the part where he's living. So if you live in a part, in a village or something, that you are that one. ور بداند کرم از ماهیتش, and if the worm discovers and knows the real knowledge, he becomes knowledge then. He is no more a worm, he is pure knowledge then. So that's what Rumi is offering us. He says that please gain the true knowledge. علم تقلیدی وبال جان ماست, آریه است و نشسته و کان ماست. The conversational intellect is painful to our souls, for it is borrowed intellect, yet we die for its roles. You know, there, as we said in the previous lectures, that there are two kinds of knowledge. One is the physical knowledge and the other is spiritual knowledge. He's coming back to that, and if you are stuck in the physical knowledge all the time, you're lost. You get to nowhere. زین خرد جاهل همی باید شدن, دست در دیوانگی باید زدن. It is better to be ignorant than to possess such an intellect. It is better to be a mad than to claim to have an intellect. I mean, what Rumi is trying to say, he says it's better for you to know a lot about the other world, feel it, and try to discover in every phenomena, in every natural show that you see in the flowers. Look at the flower roses. The rose rises, the rose grows out of dirt. But when it starts smelling, oh my God, there's no more dirt left. It's pure essence, beautiful smell. That smell is something like the spiritual knowledge. How can it be smelling like that out of the dirt and mud? That's what Rumi is trying to think about it. صاف خواهی چشم و عقل و سماره. If you want to have your eyes, intelligence and ears neat, clean, then tear off the curtains of greed and your self-conceit. Self-centeredness is a problem. نفس با نفس دیگر چون یار شود, نفس با نفس دیگر چون یار شد, عقل جزئی عاطل و بیکار شد. When the worldly body is acquainted with the spiritual one, the individual intellect fails and becomes valueless. One. Okay. So it means what Rumi is suggesting is that the other intellect is important, not this one. This is all mortal, finish, will finish. The immortal one is the other one. Azrahu manzel de kohta o daraz dil chi danet ke oust maste dil nawaz. Now he's a little bit turning toward the point, which I will explain later, to the attraction of love of God. That's where we're going now, slow by slow. What shall know the heart that is mad because of the sweetheart? Sweetheart means God, Allah. Dil chi danet ki uste mastede azraho manzilo kuta. He doesn't care about the road is short, long, or whatever the means is to go there, to get there. An darazo kuta on safe tanast. Those long distances and other things, they belong to the partial body, partial intellect. Raftane arwah digar raftan ast. And the walking of the spiritual bodies is different from this one. There's no time, no dimensional ties. Now he reminds us of something when we were not born. This is a situation before birth. Tu safar kardi da nutfa tab aql. From sperm, you have come down to wisdom by grace of God. By grace of God, not yourself. You didn't earn or gain wisdom, intellect by yourself. It was given, God-given thing. Ever since you were in the in the womb. Na bagami bood, na manzil, na naql. This was not by walking somewhere or going from place to place. You were given by random, at random. Aql tu dastur maghlub hawas. Be aware, be careful. Your carnal sense, which is your physical sense, is obedient to show and lust. This is very important. He said this before also. Dar wajudat rahi zano rahi khudost, rahzan. Rahzan is the bandit on your way. What is a bandit on the way? Your egos. He says that all the time, Rumi, that first take your ego off, throw it away, and then come pure in the presence of God. And somewhere else in the Mathnawi, he says, Aql juzi ra wazir khud magir. Don't take your individual sense as your vicegerent. Aql kul ra saz e sultan wazir. Sultan, Mr. Sultan, he says, Excellence, make the universal sense your agent of all information. Don't depend on the individual intellect. And he continues, Aql juzi. Why we should do that? Because aql juzi, aql istighraj neist. Your carnal sense is not exclusive and vast enough. It is limited with the materialistic phenomena. It needs scientific knowledge and learning fast, and that's all. And you're tied with that. And then جان که او دنبال زاغان پرد زاغ او را سوی گورستان برد. Those lives that follow the crows, finally they go to the graveyard. They don't go to the gardens. Here the crow is the person, as we said before, unknowledgeable, unaware of the other world, egoistic person, self-centered, etc. Akıl sayı hak bavat. Hak aftab sayara ba aftab uchi tab. Intellect is the shadow of God, while God is sun, the sun. How can shadow stand in front of the glorious sun? It means, you know what happened when Rumi met Shams-i Tabrizi, Shamsi was the sun? All the knowledge that he had finished, disappeared. And he has the bright knowledge of God coming to him directly, guide you. So, very interesting indeed. Then Rumi comes to a story, very interesting, of Jesus Christ. One day, Jesus was going towards the mountain. No, not going, sorry, was running fast. And people asked him, his friends, "Sir, what's happening? There's no wild animal that is chasing you. Why are you running up?" They said, "The ignorant people of the town are worse than wild animals." So ignorance, those people who are limited by the individual wisdom, they do not understand your problems. And nobody understood Rumi when he was alive. Many misunderstood him. Still they don't. His actions look non-Islamic and kind of things even today. And another example is, very interesting, striking example is about the bear and the hunter. There was a hunter who was passing through a jungle, and all of a sudden he saw a big snake. We call them, what should I say it? A big snake monster who had swallowed the bear, almost was going to kill. The hunter went for help and saved him. Now this time the bear followed the hunter because he loved him. "You saved my life, my dear." He said. Now the friends warned the hunter. They said, "He's an animal and you will be disappointed one day." He said, "No, he's very sincere to me. He has faith in me," and things like that. And one day the hunter was sleeping under the tree in the sweet shadow, and then the flies began to come there. So what the bear did is that he took up a big stone and threw it on the face of the hunter and killed him. So don't be a friend with the idiot people and ignorant people. They won't understand you. Thank you.